We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Episode 29 of Vikings Uncensored.
So angry.
So angry. Brought to you again this week by our friends over at Boulder Tap House. Craft burgers, craft beer, and an atmosphere the whole family will love. Check them out. Great food, great people over there. Highly recommend it. And big thanks to them sponsoring the show again this week. Where do we start? We got a couple of news items I guess we'll hit first before we get into that, whatever you want to call it, from Sunday against Cleveland. But
I think we're all getting sick of seeing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's set in stone in Minnesota here.
Yeah, except mediocrity.
Yeah. All righty.
For first news item, non-Vikings related, but saw this yesterday. Amazingly, Twitter was still up, even though the whole Facebook world and everything went down, and people had not,
losing their minds.
They were losing their minds. They were camping out under bridges and everything else. It was like the world was going to an end because Twitter went down on Monday, or not Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah.
But video surfaced from Saturday night that Jaguars.
Somebody had a little bit too much fun this weekend.
Yeah, Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer got in trouble he was apparently had gone back to Columbus for the weekend and was at a steakhouse he owns in town there, and video surfaced of him carousing around with a group of women, none of which were his wife.
Urban.
Apparently, they wanted pictures and they wanted to dance. This was his excuse and whatever all else. But so yeah, he had to come out and apologize on Monday and blah, 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 blah. And personally, I think he's sitting there, please fire me so I can go take the USC job. Please fire me. This NFL thing is hard.
Fucking conspiracies.
Yeah.
Just abound. But it's happened before. I mean, it's no,
Mm-hmm.
Look at Saban to Alabama and all that shit. And
yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. So some of these, longtime college guys that have had nothing but success down there, they think they're going to be, come to the pros and have the same thing.
They get their asses whipped.
Yep, because it's an entirely different world up here. But anyway, that was just something that popped up, so I figured we'd mention it. One Vikings-related news item. After playing a pretty decent game on Sunday, Cam Dantzler tested positive for COVID on Monday, so now he's in the protocol. Now, he did tweet Monday afternoon that he is fully vaccinated, so I believe he has to show 2 consecutive negative tests, and then he can come back again.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's symptomatic or if he just tested positive or what it is, but there's a potential he could be back by Sunday's game, but it'll bear watching, so we'll see.
One thing on the Kamler Dantzler thing is it took Breland to have a pretty shitty series just to put Dantzler in, which kind of upset me as well. But continuing on,
we'll talk about that when we get to the defense.
Yeah, I wanted to hit that before I forgot it.
Yeah, no, I've got it on the notes, so we'll touch on it again here in a little bit.
All right.
But yeah, so with that, we will segue into the recap on the shit show that was the Vikings-Browns game on Sunday.
What the hell is that?
We talked about this before the game. There was, that this was a game that was probably a season-changing game that we really needed to win. And we came out and shit the bed.
Season defining game, and we shit the bed.
Yep. You know, we talked,
yeah, you go ahead. By all means, the floor is yours for now.
Well, we talked about with Kirk, that this was a game that if he came out and played well, like he'd played the first 2.5, 3 weeks, that, this could go a long ways to changing the narrative about how Kirk can't play in big games and, can't string multiple games together. And what does he do? He comes back out and plays like Kirk Cousins. So the narrative continues. I mean, I'm not blaming
He didn't get the win. He didn't get the win. Is it?
And he didn't play with him. He played very poorly. I mean, his quarterback rating was 66, which is not good.
Yeah, which is horrible. When you have bad offensive line play, you get bad Kirk. You get good offensive line play, and you get good Kirk. We had bad offensive line play this weekend.
Oh, bad offensive line play would have been an improvement over what we had. Our offensive line was absolutely putrid.
Yep.
I mean, we only gave up 2 sacks.
We knew we needed to be good this weekend. We came out and shit the bed as far as our offensive line goes.
Right. We only gave up 2 sacks, but Kirk was pressured on, I believe it was 30 of 38 dropbacks.
Yep.
We the first drive of the offense, the offensive stuff, when it was scripted, it looked great. We marched right down the field.
That's what I was touchdown. That first drive, you could have fooled me, because I thought we were gonna have a great day. After seeing that first drive, I was like, all right, we look like we came to play today.
Yep. But
I did not think that was gonna be our only touchdown that we scored.
No, after that drive, the wheels completely fell off. We talked about last week, we probably jinxed him, how Brian O'Neill hadn't given up a pressure yet this year. Well, he gave up 4 on Sunday.
Yep.
But
one play offensively from this game that really strikes a nerve with me, and I keep seeing myself go back to, is that fucking 4th and 6. What are you doing?
On it, I mean, realistically, I don't have a problem going for it there. It was early enough in the game.
I do.
But we also know our kicker couldn't kick a 37-yard field goal 2 weeks ago.
Pin him, D.
I'm okay.
By 7.
I'm okay with the aggressiveness there. I honestly am. I'm not going to fault them for that. It didn't work out. If it would have worked out, we'd have scored. Everybody would have thought it was genius.
No, in my opinion, that was the play that it turned this game around. Not getting that 4th and 6. If you're going to go for it, our kicker's been kicking 50+ yard field goals all year this year. Why not let him have a whack at it?
But there again, if he'd have missed it, Cleveland would have got the ball at like the 44-yard line instead of the 30-yard line too. So I don't have a problem with that call at that point in time, but I know a lot of people do.
I don't like it. I don't like that 4th and 6 call. You should have punted it and make him fucking, make Mayfield run the length of the field. In my opinion, we're up by 7. What are we doing going for it on 4th and 6? The only reason we went for it on 4th and 6, I believe, is because Stefanski had the balls to do it the series before.
Yeah. I mean, it's typically not a Zimmer thing, but
no, it's not. It's not.
But we've also been, clamoring for Zimmer to be more aggressive, and he was aggressive there, and I'm not going to fault him for that play. I know. Yeah.
I'll agree to disagree this time.
Right. No. Yeah. And I understand where you're coming from too. It just, I was okay with it.
It got me heated, obviously.
Yeah. Getting back to the offensive line here quick before we move on.
Yep.
We had that one play that got caught on camera there where Myles Garrett literally picked Rashad Hill up and threw him on his ass.
The chemistry thing between Beckham and Mayfield's been talked about so much.
Well, and when week 7 he tore his ACL, he hadn't been able to get back.
I mean, looking at the pressures, I said he was pressured roughly 50% of the passes he did, or a little bit more than that. Rashad Hill gave up 10 pressures. Ezra Cleveland gave up 3. Bradbury gave up 2. Oli Udoh gave up 8.
I see.
And Brian O'Neill gave up 4 and Kirk got hit 7 times.
Yeah. You know what? You got 5 guys. You asked 5 guys to cover 4 fucking men. And you can't even do that.
On that last drive when we were trying to get down, and we'll get into some of this when we talk about the coaching here in a little bit too, but that last
Sometimes
play,
6 guys.
but that last play where Kirk, was getting tackled down and he just kind of winged it out there. They rushed 3 on that play and our 5 guys couldn't hold them out.
6 defensive backs, 3rd and 4. Could be the final play of the game. Here comes Clowney. There goes Cousins.
What the fuck?
When we played Arizona, and we talked about Chandler Jones being such an issue there. We did a good job on Jones, mainly because JJ Watt's on the other side. He's not the player he used to be.
No.
But
He's running out of gas.
against Cleveland this week, they've got a formidable line all the way across. You had Jadeveon Clowney coming off one side, and you had Myles Garrett coming off the other side. I mean, we had Conklin lined up one-on-one on Myles Garrett that one play, and Conklin
I know. What the fuck?
flung to the side like a freaking rag doll.
How can you expect to win that matchup?
No, and we
How?
didn't.
How do you
didn't-
expect to win that fucking matchup?
Yeah, we
Don't.
There was nothing done to try to combat any of this stuff. It was just, oh my God, they're coming at us, Ryan.
Yeah, you call play and pray for the best. That's what basically what it was.
Yep, and they were stopping our run, so we,
And they weren't calling a lot of blitzes. It was all just the regular 4-man rush.
their front 4. I mean, he threw a few blitzes in there at us, but
And when he did, they were well timed as well.
yeah, well, any time is well timed against this offensive line the way it played
Yeah.
on Sunday.
God, it's just so fucking frustrating, dude.
But that it was a comedy of errors and just
Let's hope it was just hope. I don't know what the hell is hope anymore. Anyways,
hope in one hand and do something else in the other and see which one.
Yeah,
pulls up
let's
first,
just hope that the offensive line had a bad day, and that we'll see. We'll see something better in the next weeks to come. I don't know. It was.
Darisaw was active this weekend and he did play on special teams. I think coming up this week against Detroit, this is a prime time to put him in and get him a start.
Yeah.
So,
when you got players like Jefferson that are bitching about, and in every right he has to bitch about coming from a winning, organization and then coming to the Vikings and then losing 12 of his first, however many games it is that he's played so far. I mean, players aren't going to want to come here no more.
No, I mean, they're going to start losing the locker room pretty soon, but we'll get into some of the coaching because we still Mike Zimmer knows good teams and bad teams, and he firmly believes we're still a good team.
Like I told the team, I've been doing this 27 years. I know good teams and I know bad teams.
But we'll get into Zimmer in a little bit here.
Yep.
Any more last thoughts on the offense before we move over to the defensive side?
I mean, what offense? I mean, there really wasn't much outside of that first drive. There wasn't much on offense. I did see some good creativity there for the first quarter. Each team only got the ball one time anyways in the first quarter. So, but I seen some play calls that I did like that Clint had thrown in there. Some creative play calls. The misdirection to KJ on the end around there, that was pretty sexy. KJ had another good day. I'm liking KJ more and more as the season goes on.
Yeah, so am I. He keeps proving me wrong, and couldn't be happier to be wrong about that. So
once again, Herndon was a no-show. Conklin had a few hits here and there. He also had a couple of drops that he should have been catches. One that went right through his hands and him in the face mask.
Yeah,
should have been a catch. But yeah, our offense, there wasn't much good to talk about the offense this week. So I think we pretty much covered it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll move on to the defensive side of things. And now, I'm hearing all over Twitter and stuff that, the Zimmer tubbies out there trying to defend Zimmer, and that Our defense only gave up 7 points. The only reason our defense only gave up 7 points was because our best defensive player was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
If Mayfield could have completed a pass downfield, he couldn't do that to save his life. We'd have probably lost 31
got our
28 to 7,
asses
31 to 7, somewhere in there.
Yep. Mayfield was off yesterday and we needed him to be. But you know what? We didn't do what we needed to do. We knew what we needed to do and we did not do it.
No. I mean, starting off when they started going right away, of course, Bashaud Breeland got the start again, but he gave up that one big play to Rashad Higgins and then was pulled right after that. And then Dantzler came in and played the rest of the game, played pretty well, actually.
Why not fucking start Dantzler? God.
But according to Zimmer and the coaching staff, the only reason Breeland came out was because he was sick. Yeah, we were sick of seeing his ass get burned every time they threw at him. But interesting on the Dantzler Breeland thing, with Dantzler playing like 90% of the snaps on Sunday, he has played enough this year to qualify in the PFF rankings.
And this is eye-popping.
Yep. Okay, so right now there's 107 qualified cornerbacks. 2 weeks ago there was 93. Last week there's 103. Now there's 107. Breeland is still 100. He's 107th now this year. This week. He's getting worse and worse every week, even though he's at the very bottom of the list because there's more of their qualifying. But just take a wild guess where Dantzler's at.
He's got to be up there. He's got to be up there. I mean,
just guess a number.
I'm going to say top 10 at least.
6.
I figured.
Granted, I mean, the back of his head made a pretty nice play on that one pass that Mayfield couldn't connect on, but
that's one of those pass plays we were talking about. Mayfield connects on that.
Yep.
Mayfield connects on down the middle to OJ or OBJ.
OBJ, that one later in the game. Yep. That would have been a touchdown, but he threw it behind him.
I leave the Vikings with another timeout.
3rd and 5. Mayfield has time going deep. He's got Beckham and he throws it back of him.
He had him.
He had him indeed.
It was a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah, Mayfield was definitely our best defensive player. He should be the fucking badass of the week.
But then there was another one that chapped my ass in the pass game here. Or no, this was a run play.
Oh God, is it the one I'm thinking of?
The one where it was Kareem Hunt was running down the sidelines and Patrick Peterson was basically running along beside him. He looked like he was supposed to be out there blocking for the guy. He was just sitting waiting for somebody else to make the tackle.
Come in and make a tackle.
That annoyed the ever-loving piss out of me when I saw that one. And Drew and I were talking about that after the game. And it's like, come on, dude. You're supposed to be
to be setting an example to these youngsters.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the leader, one of the leaders out there, leading the defense, showing these young guys how to play and stuff like that. And you half-ass that? Come on, man.
Right.
But
fucking meh out of Peterson all year so far.
Yeah. I mean, they're not throwing at him a lot, but you see stuff like this and it just irritates the piss out of me.
Make a fucking tackle. I hate divas, man.
I know.
Especially on defense. God.
Yeah. But we start talking about the run game. Now we're going to roll into the whole thing. We gave up 184 yards rushing to the combination of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Now I know
30 of those yards came on a 3rd and 20.
Yeah. In the 2 minutes system there, it was 3rd down and 20. They do one of the oldest plays in the book, the old give up draw play on 3rd and 20. And he runs for 33 yards.
It's Hunt. Better the block. Believing Hunt. He's got the first down and he rumbles down the sideline and stops the clock into Viking territory.
And then they kick another field goal.
Minnesota runs that play to gain better position to punt the ball.
And that's what Cleveland was doing there. They were going to run the clock out and Hunt gets the ball and was like, oh shit, there's a big opening and away he goes.
Oh, it didn't surprise me. That had Minnesota Vikings written all the fuck over it.
Oh, absolutely it did.
We cannot stop a 3rd and long for the life of us since fucking back in the 90s.
No,
You never know with this team.
but and I'm going to save the Zimmer comment on the run game until we start talking about the coaching, because if I do it now, I'm going to get off on a tangent. We're not going to get to the stuff.
You're just holding that back, dude. You're just
yeah.
bubbling in there.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
see
coming,
the
folks.
smoke start rolling out of my ears here if I didn't have my headphones on. But I guess beyond that, on the defensive stuff, you have anything else you want to hit on before we do special teams?
That Kareem Hunt run on 3rd and 20 really was a deflator. How do you let that happen?
Yeah,
How do you let that happen?
I don't
That's
know.
fucking ridiculous.
Well, and our tackling is just putrid. I don't, fundamentals.
Zimmer in 2014, you put us in 3rd and 20, that play's done. It's over.
Mhm.
But these guys are getting older. They're not the same guys they were back in 2014, mixed in with some youngsters.
Most
as
of them
well.
weren't here in 2014, but regardless.
Right. But I mean, that Zimmer ball, 3rd and 20, you win that play,
You should.
honestly, but now
It doesn't even need to be Zimmer ball. Anybody that has any semblance of a defense at all should stop that play.
it's going to stop that. Yes. This whole 3rd down vaunted defense that Zimmer used to have is gone. That ain't here no more.
No.
We had that for 2 years. And after that, it was gone. We haven't had good 3rd down defense in a long time.
No.
So anyways, I'm just beside myself with this showing that we showed on Sunday. So continuing along there. And the worst part is the best facet of our game was our special teams coverage.
Yeah, which we're going to roll into right now here. Like you said, the coverage teams were pretty good again this week. Joseph had one opportunity. He made it on that PAT in the first drive. But Jordan Berry, again, had a hell of a day. It's pretty sad when your player of the game half the time is your punter. But Berry had 6 punts for a 48.5 average. He had one the long of 58. And he also had a 57-yarder.
Yeah, Barry's looking at an all-pro year this year. We got a steal on Barry, but who wants to say that?
Yeah. When the only thing we can talk
good punter over here.
Yeah. The only thing we can talk good about in the game was the punting. So, but with that, we're going to roll into the big gripe here, and rant alert coming. The coaching. Once again, we'll start off with the offensive side of things and save the big one for the end. But Clint Kubiak again, the first scripted drive I thought was pretty good.
It was beautiful. Beautiful.
But then beyond that, then the wheels fell off it. I mean,
how much do you think Zim plays into this play calling for Clint is what I'm wondering. That's the big elephant in the room. Is Clint given free reign to call as he pleases, or is Zim in his ear saying, hey, let's bring it back a little bit and run some more? Is that what's going on? I mean, we've kind of wondered that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is Clint being allowed to shine, or is he being relegated by somebody?
I don't know, but I saw people in social media saying after 3 games that, and somebody, I forget which blog outlet or whatever even had a story on it, is the next Minnesota Vikings coach on staff, and they're talking about Clint Kubiak. I mean,
yeah.
The guy's called now 4 games. Let's pump the brakes on any.
A lot of people are thinking Stefanski, how he went to the Browns and turned that organization. Now they want to pay.
But Stefanski was here for what, 15 years? Yeah. Clint's been a coach for like 5 years.
Right. I think they're just going with the offensive coordinator thing and how, I think they're trying to paint him out to be like a Stefanski-esque type of player. Coach.
But realistically, you don't do a complete culture change with just elevating the guys that you currently have.
No, we need a culture change is what we need. We haven't fucking been to a Super Bowl since the goddamn 70s, man.
Mm-hmm.
One of the winningest teams in the league, and we don't got a fucking trophy.
Right. The only one in the top 10. I think we're the only one in the top 10 most winningest teams in league history that doesn't.
The last coach to get us to a Super Bowl, Bud fucking Grant.
The last coach to win 2 playoff games in one season. Jerry Burns in 1987.
Right. We need a culture change here in Minnesota. I'm so sick of having bad years and then looking over at Green Bay and seeing all that shit that goes on over there.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we have the type of culture that, demands winning?
Right. And granted, they got their own shit show going on over there too.
They
But
do, but they overcome that.
They're still winning.
They had a shit show all off season,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still over there winning and pulling off games like they did. It seems like every year Green Bay pulls off like that game that they did this year in San Francisco.
Right.
A couple of times a year.
Yeah. But then, of course, the argument for that's going to be, well, they got Aaron Rodgers. Well, I thought the quarterback does, if Kirk is as good as everybody says he is, then that shouldn't be a problem for us either. I mean, Kirk's no Rodgers, and I don't think anybody's saying that he is, but, and I'm not going to get into the Kirk thing because we've already moved past the offense. We set our piece with that, but okay, now on to the big thing.
Right.
I am so fucking sick and tired of Mike Zimmer and he's got his whole Stuart Smalley routine he does in his post games. Now he's not grumpy Zim anymore. He's la-di-da Zim, we're good enough. We're smart enough, and doggone it, people like us. It was brought up. Courtney Cronin, I believe, was the one that brought this up or asked the question, but, asked about Zimmer being concerned about, the run defense giving up 184 yards. He said, well, we only gave up 7 points. Well, then when he pressed it, he's like, his exact quote. And
Mike, what makes you not discouraged with the run defense right now? What do you see that you think you could build upon there?
My experience, I feel fine about it. It'll be fine. You guys worry so much about stats and not about how things look and how things are. Now we gave up a 30-yard run on 2nd and 30 in the 2-minute drill. I'm disgusted about that. Yeah, but for the most part, there was a lot of good things that happened today.
are you even watching the same fucking game, Zimmer? A lot of good things. No, not concerned about. The only reason he's saying this is he's in full
Cover his
job.
own ass.
He's in full job preservation mode. I mean,
He's playing the Wills like a goddamn fiddle.
he's trying to. I mean, we heard rumblings here a couple of weeks ago from some of the people that have inside contacts that the Wilfs have pretty much said without a strong playoff drive, there's going to be major changes done around here after the year.
There needs to be, goddamn.
Well, there absolutely does. But how can you sit up? Zimmer, do you honestly think that the media and the fan base is that stupid to, Mike says everything's fine. I guess everything's fine. So we'll be good. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. I mean, granted, yeah, you have your Zimmer tubbies that are going to go out there and die on that hill defending him regardless because, we could get,
8 fucking years, man.
yeah. We get rid of
Nothing to show for it.
It's the same thing, with the people who are taught when you say something about getting rid of Cousins, they're like, so we're going to get rid of Cousins and we're going to go back to Christian Ponder. We're going to get Mike Zimmer. We're going to go back to Leslie Frazier. There's more options than one extreme or the other.
That's the problem with their fucking play. That's the problem with this team.
Right.
Is they're too afraid to try to get better.
I mean, you look, and honestly, who the hell knew who Mike LaFleur was, or Matt LaFleur, sorry, before Green Bay brought him in there. Only people who are football nerds like us and other people like that had even heard of the guy before. And he goes and he wins 13 games the first 2 years he's a coach. Zimmer.
You know what? Zim's window it's closed. His window of opportunity was there. It's gone.
His high water mark was that NFC Championship game in 2017. And it's been downhill since then.
This year, I want him out. Super Bowl or bust this year. You get your fucking ass out of here.
I'm at the point with Zimmer, even if by some stretch of God and whatever all else, the stars all align and we actually won a Super Bowl, I would still tell Zim, thanks for everything you've done, but clean out your fucking desk. I'm so tired of this. And beyond the whole deal with, that talking about the run defense, the 2-minute drills again and again and again.
Yeah, put this out there.
In the
People need to hear this.
in the first half of 3 of the 4 games we have played, we have given up 2 scores within the last 2 minutes of the first half. 2
Yeah.
in 3 of 4 games. The only
How
game
many touchdowns have we scored in the second half of those games?
1. We've scored 1 offensive touchdown in the second half this year.
For fuck's sake.
But hey, Zimmer knows good teams and bad teams, and we still have a really good team. We just have to have luck go our way.
Like I told the team, I've been doing this 27 years. I know good teams and I know bad teams. And I know that this team has a chance to be pretty darn good. We may not look like it right now because we're 1-3, but
no, good teams find a way to win a shitty game like we played on Sunday. Good teams make their own luck and they pull out a win like that. Bad teams
know they're good and they play like they're good. God damn it.
Bad teams make excuses as to why we aren't winning these close games.
Yes.
Oh, we had a fumble that was miscalled against Cincinnati. That's why we lost. Oh, we missed a field goal against Arizona. That's why we lost. Oh, Adam Thielen got held in the end zone on that final drive on Sunday. That's why we didn't beat Cleveland. No, it's not.
Fuck those excuses.
Even if they called
no excuse to it.
Even if they called that pass interference on Thielen in the end zone, we would have gotten the ball at the 1-yard line with chance to run one play. And you know as well as I do, that play would have been running it up the fucking gut when Cleveland knew that that's what we would be doing, and we'd have got stopped and the game would have been over anyway.
Yep. We'd be talking about that too.
Right. We'd have been bitching because he didn't do a play action and dump it to Conklin or Thielen or Jefferson or whoever, out or do a fade into the corner,
This being okay with mediocrity fucking shit is getting old.
Yeah, and all these excuses, all they do is take away from what the key problems are with this team.
You know what?
It is discipline.
This is a Super Bowl worthy team. This team could win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, we
You
have.
can't tell me the talent is there not to win a Super Bowl. This team is Super Bowl ready. It could win a Super Bowl with the right leadership.
Bingo. That is the problem. The leadership and the coaching on this team is holding it back. It's not the players. It's fundamentals. It's play calling. It's philosophy. And guess what? All of that falls strictly right on the coaching staff.
And Mike, for years before Zimmer.
Right.
From to Frazier to Childress, we need somebody that's going to come in here and demand fucking greatness.
Be a leader of men. Be able to get these guys, that was always the talk when Zimmer first came in here. Oh, Zimmer's players love him. They'll run through a wall for him.
That was when his window was open. It's coming to a close, man. This league is moving on.
Yeah. Even since 2014, this league has changed so much, and Zimmer hasn't.
You have to take advantage of your window while it's open, and he did not do that. It is closed.
And it's not just Zimmer. Spielman shares a good chunk of the blame here too, because he's the one that agreed to give Zimmer everybody he wanted on the defense. He's the one that said, we're going to go sign Dalvin Tomlinson and give him a bunch of money instead of trying to figure out a way to try to get Joe Thuney or somebody like that could, putting a veteran force on that offensive line. So we don't have to, duct tape and baling wire the offensive line together to try to make it work. And again, Spielman is the guy that extended Kirk Cousins after the initial contract. Kirk Cousins is a pocket quarterback, but you do nothing
to build a line around him.
Yeah. You build a team from the inside out, from the lines. It's one in the trenches. It always has been.
Yep.
You get it on. If you're going to have a quarterback the style of Kirk, and it's not just Kirk, it could be an Alex Smith. People talking about drafting Mac Jones. Mac Jones is the same kind of quarterback. He is a pocket passer.
Right. You
put
need to
it,
protect a pocket passer. If you want a pocket passer to be, a winner in this league, you need to protect him.
right. I mean, you put Kirk Cousins behind Cleveland's offensive line,
Yeah.
and they'd have scored 40 points
Yes.
this week.
Yes, exactly. Kirk is good Kirk when he's protected. Once a leak starts to come through anywhere, you get bad Kirk.
And the stats show that, I mean,
you give him time.
His completion percentage when he has a clean pocket is up around 70%.
Yeah.
When the pocket collapses and he's hurried,
he doesn't
or
handle pressure well, and
pressure.
everybody should know that.
Yeah, but his percentage gets down in the mid 30s when he's pressured.
Yes.
I mean, that's that's falling off a cliff.
Plays do happen 30% of the time.
Right. And when Kirk has a clean pocket, he's a damn good quarterback.
Yep.
But you got to give him the stuff around him. If that's how you want to set your team up, you have to do it to succeed, not just throw in Joe-ass random
Band-Aids.
guys. Yeah, duct tape, Band-Aids, and baling wire, and whatever all else. And we're going to have to just make this work because Zimmer wants everything on his defense.
Yep.
So, but with that, we're going to move on because we could sit here and rant for another half an hour.
We could.
We want to keep the show under an hour. So
yeah.
With that, we're going to move on to our weekly awards segment. So now, of course, we start with the good and what we call our Badass of the Week award.
Who is that guy? Whoever he is one tough badass.
Now,
want me to go with my badass?
This one here, it could be a little bit tough, but why don't you go with your badass first, Lance?
Yeah, I had to do a little digging here, but I'm gonna have to go with Justin Jefferson. He's the only one on the team, outside of Thielen, and that seemed like they had any interest in winning this fucking game.
Yeah, I totally agree.
After that first quarter and second quarter, a lot of heads started to sulk,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
no, I will totally agree.
Jefferson was my badass this week,
and he's mine as well. I mean, the choices were basically Justin Jefferson or Jordan Berry,
right?
And if we're giving the punter the badass of the week award, it's bad. So maybe I should have done that, but I'm going to go with Jefferson too.
Yeah, with the honorable mention of Berry.
Yep, we'll give Berry an honorable mention. So then now we will roll over to the not so good with what we call our Red Foreman Award of the week.
Son, you don't have bad luck. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
It's so many. And then you know what it means when there's so many? It goes back to one thing, and it goes back to coaching. Once again, Zim, you take the award this week for Dumbass of the Week. It is yours.
And he is a two-time winner already. So, and I'm going to add to it. He's going to be a two-time winner this week as well, because he's mine too. I mean, the message is being lost. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And he's just in there to try to save his. Well, you know what, Mike? The way that you save your ass is to get this team to start winning games, not just saying, I know we can be good and I know we can win games. Well, if you know it, then make it happen.
Right.
So
I know we're good. I know we can win games. We're potentially good, but I just can't do it.
I've been a coach for 27 years. I know good teams and I know bad teams. Well, then you know that this isn't a good team right now, Mike. Anyway,
being a defensive fucking coach, man, come on.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to move on here. We don't want to get back into the Zim brand.
Right. God, right. This is drawing us back in, man.
Right. So now we're going to move on to the Fantasy Football Challenge wrap up from last week. Again, it's a competition going on all year long, not only between Lance and I, but also between Vikings Uncensored and the Vikings Report with Drew and Ted, who you can see at 10 a.m. on Fridays. They come out with their new episodes, so you can watch them before you watch us on Friday nights. As far as the head-to-head between Lance and I pull off the win this week.
I could have swore I was going to win. I came out swinging this week, and you took it from me.
Yeah, and
good job
with the. And I did it with my tight end getting hurt on the first drive of the game.
Right.
Logan Thomas for What the Football Team. But thank you, Austin Eckler. You put me over the top on the Monday night game.
Yeah, fuck you, Austin Eckler.
But the score between Lance and I, 95.7 for me and 81.7 for Lance. But now the bigger number of the week is they were getting a little cocky over in at the Vikings.
They were.
Since we won week 1, they won weeks 2 and 3. But unlike Zimmer and the Vikings, we came out and brought it back to 500 this week by outscoring the Vikings report. We had 177.4 and they had 147.2.
Oh,
so
ride the snake. Ride the snake.
So we are all tied up at 2 weeks apiece. So things are just heating up here, boys and girls. It's going to be a fun game here for the rest of the season. And
yeah.
I told those guys last week,
this might be the only bright spot of our podcast for a long time.
Right. So like we told them last week, don't you guys go start ordering that steak dinner yet, because I'm getting hungry here too. So
yeah.
So with that, we're going to roll into another one of our classic beer commercials. So you guys crack one open, check this out, and we'll be back in a minute. Finger guns.
Hello?
Just about right.
You know what? Take this lip balm, this copy of Tongue and Cheeks, and these batteries for my watch.
Tongue and what?
Copy of Tongue and Cheeks.
Oh, porno. Lip service, rear-ended, nuts and bolts. Where do we keep tongue and cheeks?
What?
Tongue and cheeks. This guy wants porno.
It's okay, just give me whatever.
Check under the counter. That's where we keep all the really weird shit.
Jim? Jim Scott?
Hey, Heather. What?
Hi. I haven't seen you since prom.
Here's your tongue and cheeks.
Whoa. It's for a friend. I don't read those.
I do. I read the hell out of them. When I'm done, it looks like it's gone through a paper shredder.
This month, you get a free copy of Pink Slips with your tongue and cheeks. It's a bit more upscale.
That's a bonus.
And this pocket
Nice.
or a 12-inch free.
Just the magazine.
Careful with that.
Just the magazine.
Free.
Just put the magazines in the bag.
You're gonna need a safe word, and it shouldn't be more.
Just the mags in the bag.
But get the 3-pack. That way you save money. Last 2 pages are recipes. A lot of people don't even get that far.
Have fun.
Hey, if you're not gonna take that free think I can have it, you can never have enough.
All yours, bro.
Nobody move! Or the porno guy gets it!
It's not mine, it's for a friend.
Yeah, right.
We're live downtown, where local porno buyer Jim Scott has been taken hostage, along with his pornography.
You made national TV.
Reactions from Jim's mother after the break.
All right, we are back. Now time to put the Cleveland shit show in the rearview mirror and look ahead to this week's matchup with the Motor City Kitties as they come into US Bank Stadium. I believe it's a home game, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. If we can't beat Detroit at home, clean house, please.
Yeah.
I mean, Rick will be here till the end of the year, I guarantee it, but at least get somebody else in there running the show.
Yeah, if we lose to Detroit, it's all bets are off. You know, I've been saying I don't think there's a good chance Zimmer gets fired mid-season, partially because there's nobody else really to take his place.
And I'm pretty sure he knows the ultimatum.
Right.
Yeah, right. Who do we go out and get right now mid-season?
Well, there wouldn't be anybody from outside. You'd have to hire somebody from inside.
It'd be Patterson probably, or Clint would have to step up.
I wouldn't do Clint. I mean, Andre Patterson's the only one qualified, I think.
Yeah.
You know, as far
And
as
then what do you do with his son? What do you do with Zimmer's son? You fire him too?
I'm sure he would probably quit, so you'd have to promote
Resign?
somebody there. Yeah. You know, the only guy that I think would be a good leader of men,
Patterson.
Patterson, but Keenan McCardell too. The players seem to like playing for him, but he's not.
I like that. Yeah, I never even thought of that. I would be okay with that.
McCardell's not ready to be a head coach either, I don't think.
No, but I would like to see. Maybe he is ready. Who knows? But
Yeah,
he has never called plays either, though. He hasn't even been a coordinator yet.
But
so.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So we're not advocating for that. I'm just
that
saying
would be a spicy hot take. But
yeah,
I like McCardell. I do.
I do
like
too,
him as a player, and I like him as a wide receivers coach. But
right. But anyway,
that's a hot take for sure.
Yeah, let's get back into the Detroit game here.
You have to cut that out.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit. This will be the first game that Zimmer has faced Detroit where it's not Matthew Stafford. You know, well, Stafford's been hurt, but a couple times, before. But Jared Goff is now running the show there, and we've got Mr. I'm going to bite your kneecaps off, Dan the Man Campbell.
I know that Detroit's made up of great people, some really good people. All right, this community is strong. This place has been kicked, it's been battered, it's been bruised, and I can sit up here and give you coach speak all day long. I can give you, hey, we're going to win this many games. I can't. None of that matters, and you guys don't want to hear it anyway. You've had enough of that shit. So excuse my language. All right. Here's what I do know is that this team is going to take on the identity of this city. All right. And this city's been down, and it found a way to get up. All right. It's found a way to overcome adversity. All right. And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth. All right. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. All right. And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. All right. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
Dan Campbell. Dan Connor.
Dan Campbell, not Dan Connor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Detroit on offense, their running game is okay. It's not. I mean, they've got former Packers running back Jamal Williams, and DeAndre Swift is basically their rotation for their running game.
If we can't beat Detroit at home, we have problems. That's just basically what it is.
Yeah.
Now Goff.
Oh, go ahead.
Goff isn't. He's not nothing, I mean, without McVay in his ear hole, he's not that great of a quarterback. And if there's a quarterback that we can get after, he's definitely one of them.
And part of the problem is he doesn't have anything for weapons over there. I mean, his 2 best weapons are TJ Hawkinson, the tight end, who's a very good tight end. I'm not going to slam him. And then Quintez Cephas is their leading wide receiver.
Whoever the fuck that is, Cephas.
Yeah, well, then they've got something else called Khalif Raymond. He's their second wide receiver, but
who are these guys?
Yeah, it's like the major league, and who the fuck are these guys?
Who are these fucking guys?
Right, who are these guys, man? I've never heard of these guys in my life.
This guy here is dead.
How do you? I mean, I wasn't high on. I wasn't high on Goff to begin with, but you're giving him like what? The local town circus acrobats as receivers.
I mean, like on the plus side though, even though he's got nobody to throw to, he's got plenty of time to not throw to anybody because they've got a pretty solid offensive line over there. Yeah. Now, word came out on Monday that their stud center, Frank Ragnow, probably won't play or is very questionable to play. He's got a turf toe injury, so.
Those are hard to play with, man, for sure.
Yeah, especially when you got to start planting your feet and pushing. And
I like Ragnow. He's a throwback.
I would take Ragnow over Bradbury 25 times out of 10.
Yeah. I like Ragnow.
Yeah, so I mean, their offensive line is legit, so we're gonna have to work to get after the passer, and we'll see how the running game does here this week too again. If they're doing like everybody else is figuring out, you bump it outside and you're going to get all kinds of yards on us.
Right. And the way it looks like is Pierce is getting an MRI.
Yeah, that was the deal on Zimmer said in his post-game press conference that Pierce will need an MRI because he's got some shoulder and back issues or something. And he missed the whole second half of the game last week.
Yeah, and you could tell that he wasn't. I mean, his presence not being there was definitely felt, in my opinion.
I mean,
you
of
could tell
course,
the difference.
But of course, we were only 2 plays away from giving up less than 150 yards rushing. So
we're always 2 plays away from anything.
Mm-hmm. But as far as the offense, I mean, you think you would have to give the nod to us on this. When you start looking at weapons, look at all the weapons.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Of course, we got the check mark here. How could we? Cephas, give me a break. Come on, Raymond, give me a break. Really? Yeah, of course we get the check mark here.
And then looking over at Detroit's defense, that's nothing special either.
No.
So, which is why we mentioned earlier in the show, this would be an ideal game to get Christian Darrisaw his first start at left tackle.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people were eyeballing that idea and thought as well.
Right. But, we don't know in Zimmer's infinite wisdom if they're going to do that or if they're going to go trot freaking Rashad Hill back out there again. Because, Clint said a week ago, whatever, Rashad's our guy. And this isn't, I hope the only reason you were saying Rashad's our guy is because you didn't have another option at the moment. But now Darrisaw active and played a little bit last week. And not facing a Myles Garrett or a Jadeveon Clowney or Chandler Jones type edge rusher this week would be a perfect time to get him in there.
Yep.
But we'll see on Sunday, I guess, whether or not.
I couldn't even tell you who Detroit's best rushing defensive lineman is, honestly.
Yeah, their defense is not good, but looking at all of this stuff, we have basically everything on the check boxes and stuff. We'll go to the Vikings side of things, our rush, the running game, the passing game, everything else. But and with that, we just as well roll into unless you have anything else to talk about on this.
This is one of those games that we should win, that we are supposed to win, that hopefully we do win.
Yeah.
So,
but I can see it being a lot more nail biting than whatever.
It's a divisional game, so yeah.
But so with that, we'll roll into our picks and prognostication section. So to kind of continue on, we will first, of course, hit the game Sunday. So what are you seeing here, and what do you think the outcome will be?
This, it's like we were saying just a moment ago, it's a divisional game, but in my eyes, I feel like we should win this handedly. Even with the guys of Zimmer's coaching ability, we should. I mean, the players themselves should be able to win this game. In all honesty, the matchups, we should overpower Detroit, in my opinion. I mean, we're just a better team. And I mean, granted, in Minnesota, that doesn't mean anything, but I look for a win. I look for a big win. Hopefully, I'm going to take the Vikings in a win over Detroit at home here. If not, they need to clean some house.
Yeah. Well, and going back to what you're saying about us being a better team, we're a better team, at least on paper.
Right. I'm sick of being in the Minnesota paper fucking champions.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
year after year, whenever we get a good team, we're always, they're gonna get a good shot at the Super Bowl, and then we just,
yeah. I mean,
don't do nothing.
We don't have a trophy case. We have a filing cabinet where we put all of our paper trophies.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, from my side of things here, like I just said a few minutes ago, I think this is going to be a lot closer game than most people. Most people are saying, "Oh, we're going to walk in there on Sunday and absolutely destroy Detroit." Well, remember the last time we said we were going to walk in and absolutely destroy somebody? Buffalo walked into US Bank Stadium and absolutely kicked our ass up one side and down.
And that's only one example.
Right. There's plenty of examples, but
we should honestly, we should run over Detroit.
Right.
But it just never seems to play out that way.
No, I think it's going to be a one-score game. I honestly do. It could go one way or the other.
I could see that, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that we
Oh,
say that we're going to do.
Yeah, I hope not too.
Right.
But it just the way I feel about the way the team is and stuff right now. I think we're on the plus side of that one-score game. But it also would not surprise me one bit to see Detroit kick a freaking field goal at the end of the game to beat us. Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Send us to 1-4.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we lost last year to the Atlanta Falcons, who had not won a game, which is right about this time of year too. I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was week 6.
Yeah, week
last
5,
year,
week
but
6,
I'm not
whatever,
sure.
whatever it was. But they had just fired their coach the week before, and they came in and beat us. So I mean, it's entirely possible Detroit could do it. I mean, I don't think they're going to, but they could. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. But I will pick. I will pick the Vikings on this one.
Kirk comes in cold last year. We start out, what was it? 2-3, I think.
1-6, 1-5.
1-5. And then Kirk comes in hot this year, and we're sitting at 1-3 right now. So I mean, we've got the hot side, we've got the cold side, and
right.
And you're still sitting in the same record. That says something.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that says?
Well, it's obviously not the coaching because it's not Zimmer's fault. Anyway, let's move on here. Now we'll do our weekly picks for the Fantasy Football Challenge. Again, between us and and then against us versus Vikings Report. Again, the rules, if you guys aren't familiar, 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end, with the 2 caveats that they can't be from the Thursday night game, since by the time you guys see both of our shows, it's Friday, so the Thursday game has already happened.
Right.
And once you pick a player, you cannot use him again, so you can't pick Patrick Mahomes for 17 games, basically. With that, who do you got for your quarterback this week?
That's okay. I am going to go with Tom Brady versus Miami.
Really? I took him too.
2 weeks in a row, huh?
Yeah, and we don't talk about our picks beforehand, just so you guys know that we're because we're trying to beat each other too, so we're not gonna alter things. But yeah, I'm taking Tom Brady as well.
Wow. Hey, let's hope he has a good week and at least beat Vikings Report.
Yeah. Far as running back, I'm taking Derrick Henry versus Jacksonville.
Nice. That's a good pick. I'm going to go with our good friend Cordero Patterson versus the Jets at running back.
Okay. Mr. Swiss Army knife down there. This is probably the first team that's really figured out how to use Patterson. And I mean, he's
having a good year.
He's having a real good year down there.
Spied in the end zone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with that, how about your wide receiver 1?
I'm going to go with DJ Moore versus the Eagles.
Okay. I'm going to take Justin Jefferson versus Detroit.
Ooh. And your second receiver?
Wide receiver 2, I'm taking CeeDee Lamb versus the Giants.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I'm going to go with Marquise Browns versus the Colts.
Okay. Then how about tight end?
I'm going to go with Schultz versus the Giants. Dalton Schultz.
Okay. And I am going to take the unicorn. I'm taking Kyle Pitts versus the Jets.
Ooh. The unicorn, huh?
Yeah. Well, they fitted him for his gold jacket. They gave him his gold jacket when they announced him as a draft pick up on stage.
Right.
So with that, that's really about all we've got it for this week. We went through quite a rant and stuff earlier, but
man, this Vikings team is not making our inaugural season very easy.
No, it's not really. I mean, we would love to come on here and speak the praises of everybody and how well they're doing on the team.
Exactly. Yeah, I hate having to be negative, but
we're not being negative. We're being realistic. That's the thing. That's what I go with.
Right. You're right. You're right. Absolutely realistic.
Right. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if you're on the road, check us out on the audio podcasts. We're on pretty much all the normal versions, and Facebook pages have now come out with the podcast stuff, so you can find our audio podcast on our Facebook page too if you check for that.
Cool.
They just popped that up this weekend. So I
did not know that. Well,
I didn't either until I got the notification. I think it was Sunday that I got it set up. So our audio podcasts are available over there now as well. If you guys watch us, you like what you see, make sure you check that little subscribe button down below there and hit the bell so
we're slowly crawling up there in subscribers. We'll get to where
we're getting close to that. We're getting close to that 200 range here, and once we get up above that, we've got some ideas for some more contests and stuff to do. So tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends, and everybody to like and subscribe to the channel so we can get some contests going here again.
Tell your cougars and your sugar daddies.
Anybody that wants to watch, come and tell them to subscribe. Right. But with that, again, thank everybody for watching. Thanks, Boulder Tap House again. Why don't you take us out of here, Lance?
Episode 29, the Chester Taylor episode. I also want to say Griffin had a good week this week. I'm liking that we brought Griff back in hindsight. He obviously still has something in the tank. I like seeing Sad Daddy dance, it's good to see that. Let's hope we can get a yelp. Let's hope we can get a win off of one of those, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Griffin there, another honorary mention for Badass of the Week. Let's keep this season rolling along. Let's hope we can turn it around. Obviously at the end of the day, we just want to win. Win. And with that being said, let's bring Detroit in. Let's crush them. Let's bite their kneecaps.
Let's bury them in their litter box.
Let's bury them in their litter box. And with that being said, we will see you next Friday.
We'll see you guys.
Adios.